And it's snowing, as you can see. I guess the winter weather is sticking around, even though technically spring is coming up soon. And what's going on today? I guess it's kind of interesting reading this one first. Apparently there are police officers using drones, I guess, to try to find juveniles doing bad stuff. How's this? This one says, UCSO drone operator locates fleeing juvenile suspects. Late yesterday evening, UCSO deputies were dispatched to the 2500 block of the Monroe Expressway after receiving reports that multiple suspects were throwing large rocks off a bridge onto the roadway below. Deputies arrived and located a semi-truck and trailer that had been struck by one of the rocks, causing significant damage to the roof of the truck and the front side of the trailer. Thankfully, the driver was not injured when the truck or trailer was hit by the rock. So because of this, they went, I guess, to investigate, and they used a drone with a thermal camera. And as a result, they were able to find the suspects, I guess you could say. And according to this, even though they got them on site, they tried to run away. And it says the group of suspects fled on foot as deputies approached, and 2 suspects were captured after a security perimeter was established in the area. Deputies ultimately identified a total of 5 suspects, all ranging from 13 to 15 years old, that were responsible for the property damage. Well, it's a lot of people. And it goes to show you too, like in these cases, people are going to do bad things, and you're not going to, I guess, stop them necessarily from making things like an over-the-top regulation. People are afraid of, let's just say, a recreational drone where most people are doing nothing wrong. Imagine in this case, oh, these guys throwing rocks down on ramps and all that. Now you get to ban rocks in general. Wouldn't that be ludicrous in many ways? According to this, they will face criminal prosecution, although they are juveniles. That makes me wonder if they're going to give them a lighter sentence, or in some cases, I guess if it's severe enough, they do try them as adults. I know there's stories where criminals say they purposely get kids to do crimes because they know they will get, I guess, less severe sentencing. They're taking advantage of it. Either way, you should always just take care of the troublemakers per se. Versus, like I said, things like drones, for example, is so over the top. You gotta take care of the actual criminals, not people that are just doing nothing wrong, for example, flying for fun and so forth. And with larger drones, the world is still fighting, I guess. How about this one? It says, Jordan shoots down Arms-Laden drone from Syria. Jordan saw several infiltration and smuggling attempts along border with Syria in recent years. Jordan said Saturday it had shot down an Arms-Laden drone from neighboring Syria. A military statement said border guards spotted a drone attempting to illegally cross into Jordan from Syria and was shot down inside Jordanian territory. A rifle and hand grenades were found on the drone wreckage, the statement said. According to the statement, the drone was designed to explode when seized. Jordan witnessed several infiltration and smuggling attempts along border with war-torn Syria in recent years. Imagine that, making it self-destruct because you want to, I guess, get rid of evidence or whatever. It says, Jordan witnessed several infiltration and smuggling attempts along border with war-torn Syria in recent years. Again, I guess the whole world is still fighting. And there was a lot of headlines here talking about political interference, where the claim is China has, I guess, various people put in place, in members of parliament and so forth, because they were, I guess, in a sense, bribed, or they did something to try to get them elected. And at first, this one here says, leaks alleging China interfered in 2021 election have inaccuracies, Trudeau says. So it's kind of like saying, hey, nothing to see and so forth. But then afterwards, apparently people wanted to do a public inquiry, and he's like saying, nope, not gonna happen. Even for someone like myself who doesn't follow politics usually, I would wonder, hey, what's going on? It says Justin Trudeau is ruling out a public inquiry to examine China's interference in Canada's democracy, and once again insisted that Beijing-directed influence activities did not affect the outcome of the 2019 and 2021 elections. Speaking to reporters in Toronto, marking the first anniversary of Russia's military invasion of Ukraine, the Prime Minister said he is satisfied with hearings now being conducted by a parliamentary committee into the past 2 election campaigns. So am I understanding this correctly, where the argument is, yeah, there might have been a little interference here and there, but that's normal and it's not enough to affect the outcome, so yeah, there's no point even investigating that. Am I understanding this correctly? If so, I would still say, hey, what's going on? You want every single detail. Who got money, I guess, from, let's just say, parties that did this influence and all that, because you never know. It might be bigger than you think, correct? And just trying to squash it, in my opinion, shows there's something wrong. And the points here saying Mr. Kingsley this week said an independent inquiry is necessary because the Chinese interference operations outlined in leaked secret and top secret Canadian Security Intelligence Service reports, which were viewed by the Globe and Mail, threaten to undermine confidence in the electoral system. He says Canadians must be able to trust that the electoral process is not being tampered with by a foreign government. I don't know, sounds reasonable to me, correct? What would be the other logical reason besides what he claimed? They're like, it's too little, don't investigate it anyways, you just never know. That would be kind of hypocritical too, if that is the argument saying, it's too little anyways, don't worry about it. Because don't politicians usually tell people every vote counts, so go vote? So wouldn't that be like the same case here? Every vote counts, and if there's fraud and so forth, that could have been the difference between someone getting elected or not.
Thank you so much. I believe free people whose values freedom should be united. 24th of February 2022, war began. And it's a 1 year war began, and we want to share with the whole world that we against the war. We Russians against the war. Russians support freedom. Russians support Iranian people. Thank you, thank you.
This is where the fire was yesterday, this building. Alright, see you guys later.